Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. Welcome back. This is episode number 8 of the You Should Fact Check This podcast. It's the end of March. We're getting towards the end of March, and the war is still, it's still cooking on.
Dude, I haven't even looked at the war.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. I've heard this from a lot of people. I've felt it as well, but we're not attached to it. There's so little. It's
not our war.
Right. I mean, it took 48 to 72 hours for everyone, really, most people in the US to be like, I've got other things to worry about.
Yeah.
So,
which hopefully means we're not going to get nuked.
And no, I don't think that that's what that means, but yeah, I hope not. I hope this doesn't escalate. But our president is saying some iffy stuff.
He's the man.
He is a man. He recently said that Putin, there needs to be a regime change. And that's not what you want. That's not giving Putin any olive branch to back out of this. It makes it unclear whether we're actually looking for peace talks.
I thought. Never mind. Keep talking.
It's just really unclear. I think that we've made our stance that we're not going to send troops into Ukraine, but we haven't made the stance that we don't want this war to continue. That's not obvious, I don't think. And it should be obvious. It should be obvious that we don't want this happening, and peace talks should be number one. That's one of the things that is just confusing for me is the Vladimir Zelensky or whatever. The president of Ukraine, we're giving Ukraine tons and tons of weapons, which is great. We should let them defend themselves, but we should be looking for some way to end this as efficiently as possible. And it does not seem like that is in the cards. Zelensky seems to just be kind of feeding off the limelight right now and continuing to, push his, which he should, he's their country's under attack. But I mean, when we get an opportunity to have a peace talk, it should be option number one. We should figure it out as soon as possible. And I know that the Donbass, the eastern part of Ukraine, is very Russian. And there's been civil strife through there for forever, since 2000, early 2000s. And at some point there's got to be some concessions, I think. And I don't know. It, like I said, it's not clear that that's actually being looked at as a real possibility. So, but Biden said that what his statement was moral outrage and not a policy change. So we have a president getting pissed off,
working off of
talking. Yeah, good. Exactly. Fantastic.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Because didn't the last one get fired for that? Didn't he get booted off Twitter or something for that? How is that different?
Well, I think the difference is I don't think Trump ever did it off of emotion. Yeah, it wasn't emotion.
Whereas Biden is just an emotional sack of old.
Yeah,
bags.
I mean, he's just old, man. I mean, I'm looking at the news for Apple News right now, and it's Trump and Biden right in front. And it's the last people that I want to see as faces of our fucking country.
Right.
Legitimately.
Will Smith, the president.
Oh my God. Obviously he can't handle his goddamn emotions either. That was ridiculous. That was, man, I love Will Smith, but that was pathetic, dude.
I was just reading. Apparently they have some back history.
Do they?
Yeah. that wasn't a one-off thing. There's no way. There's no way.
I'm so surprised. Okay, so if anyone doesn't understand the context of what we're talking about, at the Oscars last night, I'm spacing. Chris Rock was, head of the
monologuing.
Monologuing, giving off jokes and roasting people. And he roasted Jada Pinkett Smith about her alopecia, and said that she was going to be the next G.I. Jane. 2.0. There you go. And, it was weird because you saw Will Smith laugh at first.
Yeah, but then if you look at her, she is not happy.
No, she's not happy, but God damn it. Like, you're losing your hair. Who gives a shit? You're an actress. If you're losing your hair and someone makes a joke about it, you gotta laugh. Like, that's funny shit. It's nothing that you can control. So what's going on?
I don't know.
So that was just, and then Will Smith got up on stage, slapped the shit out of Chris Rock live
television. I like how it was a slap too. I like how it was open-handed. It wasn't like a punch. It was open-handed.
I mean, goddamn, if he actually punched him, there's no way he would have gone and just sat down back in the crowd.
Right.
And then just the emotion afterwards, like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. And then on the second one, you could see him, you could see the adrenaline because he's saying it in front of everybody. He's fucking on TV, and you could tell he's shaking a little bit. And then Chris Rock being like, God damn, I will, man. Like at that point you were like, holy shit, this is real.
Yeah.
When Chris Rock said he's like, all right. You're like, what the fuck? Just happened? He was like, it's a G.I. Jane joke. Yeah. Yeah. That was, I think it says more than anything that, celebrities are just normal ass people, and they can't control their emotions just like a lot of people. Huh?
They're privileged, normal ass people.
Yeah, Will Smith's a fantastic actor. He's worked his ass off. So it's not like he's not just a normal guy. He's willing to work harder than most people, and he's talented. But
the best actor.
Of
the year.
Yeah. Yeah. And assaulting Chris Rock on stage in front of a live streaming. That's just, I don't know. I thought it was a joke. Charlie told me about it this morning, and I was like, oh, it's probably like a bit or something.
Yeah. No, watching it, I thought it was too, but then it was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Well, then it just further draws along, not my narrative, but the narrative of just black angry man, a privileged black angry man. Not my narrative. I didn't say it.
Way to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought of Will Smith as angry. Like, even when I saw that, I was like, that just seems so out of character.
Well, who knows what his character is?
Right. Obviously, but
he's a great actor.
You watch him in the movies and you see him on interviews and stuff, and he seems like just a personable guy who just worked his ass off. He's the Fresh Prince, It's just like you'd think after all these years of taking criticism and all of that shit from people all over the world that you'd be able to handle a little bit of shit talking to your wife.
Joke towards your wife.
Right. And goddamn.
But that's also old fashioned though. Like, that's also very old fashioned. Like, don't let another man speak about your wife like that.
Yeah. And it was very old fashioned,
especially in the black community.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It was
there's also that aspect.
It's kind of respectable, but also just for one, he's a comedian. Like, Chris Rock's a legitimate, he's a comedian.
Right.
That's what he does.
Clearly not good.
Really? I thought it was funny, but, I'm sure a lot of people would as well if they weren't.
Everyone laughed. Yeah.
Well, they didn't actually. That's why he said, that was a good one. People were like, oh.
Yeah.
It was more, it didn't receive like a lot of his other jokes were receiving. But, you know, it was something to see. And for him to be able to get it going again after that, props. That's a tough one to come back from, getting slapped in the face on stage.
That's showbiz, man.
I guess.
What's your bold take of the day?
I really don't have one.
You never have one.
I know. I don't know. I feel like I don't have bold takes unless I'm like in the moment thinking about it, you know, like when we get deep into something.
Okay, well, let me bring up this story for you.
All right, let's go.
This is a bold story of the day. Okay. So in Missoula right now, the Missoulian, which is our newspaper, just came out with a story about this coffee roasting company called Black Coffee Roasters. Small business. They do their own grinding and wholesale coffee. Okay. And then they also have like a storefront where they have baristas and you can go in and get a cup of coffee. So small business, locally owned. Okay. So it just came out that their employees are unionizing because they're not getting paid enough.
What?
So their baristas are unionizing against owners because they want more pay. So
quit.
They're getting paid. They're getting paid. They were getting paid $10 an hour plus tips, plus paid time off, flexible scheduling, matched IRA contributions.
Are you joking?
And now they went to the owners and were saying, like, we need more pay because we can't live in Missoula. So they bumped up the pay to $13 an hour plus tips, plus all of that other stuff. And now they've come out and said that's still not enough. We're unionizing. Like, as baristas, we put out a very good product. Missoula, you guys need to come show your support. You need to tell the owners of Black Coffee Roaster Company that we are not being treated fairly and we need to be paid more because we can't live in Missoula off this pay. Baristas.
Oh my God. Dude, I don't even. I'm so pissed off right now. I don't even. Okay, first of all, there should be like a size restriction to your business to be able to unionize.
Yeah, but they're doing it.
No,
like
I get it.
They're called the third wave worker union. Something like that.
I mean, that's stupid as shit, dude. If you're a barista, fucking seriously, if you're a barista and you want more pay, go start your own fucking coffee business.
Or just get a different damn job.
Right.
And not a minimum wage. Like, literally anyone can learn how to make coffee.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that if that's your fucking passion, if making coffee is your fucking passion and you don't think you're getting paid enough, start your own coffee company. Don't bitch to the fucking owner because they can't pay you anymore.
Yeah. Or the Missoulian, dude. The newspaper. Don't go to the newspaper and get a story written on you. Like,
that's honestly,
that's just kind of business as well.
That is, I mean, yeah, you've got to just quit. Yeah. You've got to quit.
They won't. And they're all like, one of the quotes was like we initially wanted to stop, but we felt so empowered that we had to keep going.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. No, I mean, as soon as this is the same shit that happens to fucking politicians when they get into office. And the same shit that happened when COVID hit and all these politicians felt that fucking little ounce of power that they actually had. And they were just fucking grasping at straws to try and hold on to it. I mean, what? It's a tiny coffee company and you're fucking unionizing.
Look it up, dude. Black Coffee Roasting Company.
You know what's crazy is Tesla
literally
has not unionized. Tesla employees have not unionized. And they have 100,000 employees.
It's pretty impressive. Look up Black Coffee Roasting Company, Missoula, Montana. You'll see how big it is.
Dude, I'm just going to fucking go donate to the owner.
Yeah.
Black Coffee
Roasting Company. If, like, obviously, if you're not watching, you can't see anyway, but, like, it's maybe, it just looks like a big garage. It's not like a massive coffee place. It looks like a big garage where they roast all their own beans and they distribute out of that garage.
A Starbucks.
Maybe 2 people working at a time.
Yeah, I mean, they've got
they're open 7:30 to 2. It's not like they're working 8 to 5.
Go get another job after.
Yeah.
Get a second job.
Right? So that means they're only open 5 days a week. So that means if you're working every shift, which you know they're not, if you're working every shift 5 days a week for 6 hours, you're working 30 hours a week. Well, shit, you can afford to live in Missoula. Like, no, you can't afford to live anywhere. Go get a second job. Go invest in your life and go to college or some stupid shit like that.
My God, dude, I don't understand this. People that just don't understand how business fucking works are out of their goddamn mind.
Well, because if they raise their wages, then they have to raise the price of their cup of coffee. Now their cup of coffee is $6 or $7 for a 12-ounce Americano. No one's going to buy a $6 or $7 12-ounce Americano. Therefore, if you don't get anybody to buy your coffee because it's so damn expensive, no one's going to come into the coffee roastery. And if no one comes into the coffee roastery, then you don't have a damn job.
Dude, this quote right here, I mean, you said it, but we're trying to make the community aware that we really need their support. If they like what we're doing and they like the product we serve, they should reach out to the owners and let them know that they think the union is a good thing for their business. Who gives a shit what other people think is good for your business? That is so goddamn dumb. And also, it's not like they don't necessarily have to raise prices. However, at that point, those owners have to make the decision to make less money on an investment they made where they spent lots of money. Right. They spent lots of money to get this thing going, and they have liabilities. They have all sorts of they have insurance they have to pay. I'm sure that they have debt on some of the stuff. They're the ones taking the risk. They should reap the rewards. Right. This is so dumb.
Not the barista.
And that's what I'm saying. If you're passionate about coffee and you're one of these baristas, you don't think you're getting paid enough, go start another coffee company.
Right. That's too much hard work.
Yeah. This is, I'm just, so I don't.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah. This makes me so mad. Yeah.
And what the main speaker, he's like, I moved from Seattle to Missoula and living wages are similar, but we get paid less here. Why did you move from Seattle to Missoula? To become a barista. like, are you joking?
Oh my God, dude.
Why have you moved from Seattle to barista or Seattle to Missoula to be a damn barista? Like,
I love that he was a barista in Seattle as well and decided that it was his passion, but he didn't want to do it unless he was working for somebody where he got benefits and all sorts of different stuff. Like those.
Dude, the fact that they're even getting benefits as baristas is ridiculous. Pay time off.
It is absurd.
An IRA match as a barista?
running a small business like that, people don't understand how fucking difficult it is.
Yeah, well, I see it every damn day.
Right. I mean, your family owns a small business. My family owns a small business. It's not, you're not doing it like,
it's not fun.
It's not fun, man. I mean,
It's not fun.
You can love it, but 65 to 90% of it is just shit. Like you're just getting shit on.
Yeah.
And then like, hopefully one day your shit actually takes off and people love it. And then you're not getting shit on as much, but there's so much shit. There's so much shit. It's, it's so, I'm,
shitty.
If that person came to me and I was the newspaper, I would have written, I think these people should start their own coffee company and then gone into the story.
I think it's messed up on the newspaper's part to even pick the story up, dude.
Right.
I think it's ridiculous.
Okay. First off, I don't know if these are employees in the picture.
They are.
Or I don't know, is one of them the owner? But
no.
Let me tell you.
Those aren't the owners.
The picture of Pay Me More. Right?
It what?
They are the picture of Pay Me More.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
Like,
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a pretty obvious look.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting. This is
none of them look like they work hard. I'm sorry. None of them. One of them has pink hair.
Well, that is yellow, by the way.
Is it yellow? I'm not looking at it anymore.
Man, I'm done with this. We've got to move on to something else. That's just like one of the most upsetting things that I've seen.
It was on the front page of the paper today. Front page, that picture.
Well, first off, the reason that it's on the front page is because everyone is having the same goddamn reaction. Anyone that doesn't look like these people in this picture is having the same reaction as we're having.
They better be.
Or at least people who understand. Which unfortunately they might not be a lot. But everyone is like, wait, unionizing? I thought that only happened when the company got fucking big.
Not a 15-person coffee shop.
Right. So at a business where you have 4 employees, the way to know how much you have to pay is, are you getting employees? We have 50 employees at Vernon's, right? Just under 50. If we have a position where we can't hire someone, we raise the pay. Right? We don't have everybody deciding on what they should get paid and then making the decision from there.
Right.
If you're not getting paid enough and you work at a small business, quit, find a different job, and then it'll tell them that they need to pay more, or someone else will fill the spot.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, if I was the owner, I would fire these people.
That's what my mom said too.
Yeah. I would fire them.
Have you read the comments?
No.
Why bother starting a union if it is so lucrative to operate your own coffee company that you can take pay demands from workers? Then why not start your own coffee company?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I mean, Jesus Christ. These people are
customers will pay for their customers will pay their demands. Higher prices will eventually force you socialists out of an affordable cup of coffee, just like higher taxes make Missoula a more affordable city to rent or buy in. You can't fix stupid.
Yeah. Oh my God. Dude. These people.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
You know what's unfortunate is, how big is Missoula?
Ooh, 60,000.
These people are going to get, and I think Missoula is probably on the smarter end. There's wealthy people there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So these people are not going to just
Oh, they're gonna get shit on.
Yeah, they're gonna get roasted, dude, constantly. They've really set
Like,
themselves up.
I've thought about going to a coffee shop and just being like, you guys are dumb. You guys are dumb.
Just walking in and be like,
really,
can I make my own cup of coffee and then I'll just give the money to the owner?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, they're not gonna get hired again.
No,
I mean, one Google search on their names and it comes up, and it's like, you're not hiring that.
I would never hire any of those people. That is, it's.
And I hate to be like a stereotypical, like they look like they don't, work hard, but like they look like they don't work hard.
Well, I'm not.
It's just
they kind of look like they don't work hard, but they also look like the people that are going to be like, hey, you know what we really should do? We should fucking get paid more. This is bullshit. We're making good coffee. We should get paid more. So,
this coffee's like really good. We have like 50 regulars. This coffee's good.
And it's like the essence of fucking honestly privileged.
Yeah.
Like there are children working in mines in countries for nothing.
They don't start a union.
They get beat with sticks. That's their union, getting beat with sticks.
Well, these people are wearing all organic clothing, so they don't know.
Shit, you're right. No, well, actually, they're helping those people. They've got clear consciences, if that's the right word.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's
I figured you'd love that story.
I hate it with a burning passion.
That's my bold story of the day. Bold statement of the day.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot of bold statements. So the fucking biggest bold statement is start your own company. Like go start your own coffee company. Let's like show them how easy it is. That's ludicrous.
And I'm telling you right now, like okay. I've worked.
Tell it to them.
Part of my parents' business is a coffee company.
Yeah,
it's a coffee. It's baristing.
Yep.
People don't come in for the tasty coffee. They come in for the convenience of the coffee.
Oh yeah, that's why Starbucks is so big.
It doesn't matter if you're putting out great coffee.
Yeah.
Like if you're putting out good coffee and you're placed right downtown, right next to an office building, you're gonna be busy.
Yeah.
But people aren't gonna drive out of your way and pay a shit ton of money for a cup of coffee if it tastes like a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Milk is milk. Steamed milk is milk. Coffee's coffee. I know there's better coffee out there than coffee, but like, come on now.
Yeah, man. I don't drink coffee, so I've never had coffee. I don't know if coffee's good or coffee's bad. So,
I mean,
all I know is that most business is based off of convenience.
Yeah.
And that's, just a segue, and I'm not even going to segue into anything. I'm just going to state this. But that's why the metaverse is terrifying. Because convenience. If you can stay in your room, but you can travel to Paris, you will choose that.
I won't.
Occasionally, we might have some that don't.
Think how Paris is going to be when the metaverse opens up.
How what?
How not busy it's going to be. You could go there and just be in Paris alone.
That's mad true. That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the streets are going to be terrifying once the metaverse really kicks in. There's just going to be no one out there. It's going to be like...
Oh, yeah. Do you actually think that'll happen?
No, I don't think so. But
I was just watching Ready Player One.
Right. I think that there is actually a greater than 0% chance that happens, which is scary.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm not even going to buy any of it.
I don't have an Oculus. Yes.
I'm not getting it. And I'm not ever going to get any of it.
the thing that is scary the most is the people who own the hardware own the thing, right? So iPhone, they own their platform. They make the hardware. So pretty much everything that goes on to the iPhone, Apple has control over.
Right.
The leader in the metaverse, this artificial whatever, life, is Facebook, is Meta. And they're leading by a lot.
Right.
So if you hate Facebook, the metaverse is a terrifying idea because Facebook is in control currently. And it's because of their hardware. And that means that they will have control over the whole thing. So
that's just like, you have to okay, so I saw this, there are definitely people that are predetermined to be in the metaverse and some people that aren't going to be in the metaverse. I saw this tweet from a newscaster in town, and he was just randomly polling people who followed him, what's your guys' screen time per day? 0 to 3 was the lowest option.
0 to 3 hours?
And then it went 3 to, was the lowest option.
Yeah.
And then it went 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 plus. 87% of people were 3 plus hours on their screen. 20% of people were 7 plus.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I think that it depends on the business that you're in. I'm definitely the 3 to 7 area.
Well, that's because you're marketing on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do everything on my laptop. I have to be on my laptop, and that's where I work.
Right. But how much of that is social media time?
Less than 1%.
Yeah. So that's metaverse is
right.
Social.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is if you're spending 7 plus hours on screen metaverse, social media, then yeah, you're going to be more drawn towards the metaverse.
Oh yeah.
But if you're at that 0 to 3 hours of social media, you're going to not be.
Wait, that was just metaverse. Social media?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Know. You have to be such a boring fucking person to spend that much time on social media. Legitimately so boring. No, you're just a boring person. I would not want to talk with you.
So many people just live their lives for other people.
I literally I can look through. I think Instagram Reels is actually a fantastic product.
It's addicting.
Yeah, it's good, and they're good. There's good stuff to watch. I enjoy watching it. However, I sit on there for 5 minutes, and I'm I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And if you can continue doing that constantly, and Reels just came out not too long ago, really.
I mean, it's basically TikTok.
Right. And TikTok is super addicting, but it's so addicting that you can feel it, right? It's overtly addicting to the point where you're this is not good for me. I need to stop. And so I don't open it because I know that it's just terrible. And I feel like shit after I use it. Yeah, I have it for business. But other than that, I didn't have it on my phone until we started using it. But it's, I can't imagine that you are a contributor to the world at all if you're spending more than an hour or 2 on social media a day.
Well, you're monetizing social media.
No, I mean, probably not. Honestly, the people that are actually making money off of social media aren't the ones that are spending multiple hours a day on social media, unless you're a marketer who's using social media. That's different.
They're probably just building content for social media.
Yeah, no, well, yes, but okay, if you're a net creator, then you're giving something. But if you're a net taker, then you're not. So if you're creating more content than you're consuming on social media, then you could have an argument that you're doing all right. But 95 to 99% of people that are on social media are net takers, right? They're not creating as much content as they're taking in. And I'm guilty of that. I don't create as much content on social media as I consume, but I consume very little.
Hard to. Right.
I'm creating in other places.
I definitely have those days where I'll do much, much more social media than I do on other days, but it is nowhere near over 2 hours.
No, well, the difference is your job is not a content creator, right?
Oh yeah, my job is very all person in person.
Yeah. So if you are content,
I could use content to create
more business.
Yes, but I don't know how to do that.
I'll teach you. I can show you. But if your job inherently is content creation and you're spending more time receiving content than creating content, then you're losing.
Right.
In my mind. Because I think you'll learn a lot more from the content that you try and create than the content that you take in. And like there's a place where you have to consume some of the content to understand what's going on.
Right.
But you should be a 51% creator rather than consumer. Yeah. I don't know, man. This is speaking of social media and all of that. Did you see that Elon said that he's seriously thinking about starting a new social media company or a new social media?
Really?
Yeah. So
do you think it'd go on the Tesla stocks ticker? Or do you think he created a new one?
It wouldn't be Tesla related, I don't think.
You think it'd be a new stock ticker?
Well, so that's not really how businesses work, but possibly.
Well, I just want to invest. I want to make money off it.
Right. I mean, so not your business doesn't immediately go to become.
Well, yeah, I know.
Stock.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know. You have to do it private, and then you got to get public, and then you got to
Right. So he tweeted. He tweeted a poll the other day saying, "Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle?" Obviously, the answers were yes and no. 30% of people said yes, which is honestly insane. And 70% of people said no. And then he subtweeted that. He said, "The consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully." Which, from that, you could guess that he was probably thinking about creating something of his own that would compete with Twitter.
Yeah.
Then he quote tweets it after the poll ends. And he said, "Given that Twitter serves as a de facto public Times Square, failing to adhere to free speech principles fundamentally undermines democracy. What should be done?" And then under that, he said, "Is a new platform needed?" Obviously, everyone said yes. And then he said, "I'm seriously considering this." So, I don't think that creating a social media that adheres strictly to free speech principles is actually super time consuming. I think that it's something that you would create and then it would kind of just sit as it is. You wouldn't need much maintenance on it because they wouldn't be trying to manipulate people to get more, interest. So
I feel like Twitter runs the world.
Twitter does. It's kind of scary because we're like even right now.
Where else do you get news? Like
right.
you personally?
Well, me, I get
wherever I go.
I get news from Apple News, from independent journalists on Substack, from podcasts. But like if I want
also Twitter.
Yeah, no, for sure. If I want up to minute, like when the war broke out, I was on Twitter constantly trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And I thought about that a lot at the beginning because I was like, this is the first time that we've had a legitimate war with social media in the mix. And it just leaves, there's so much questioning involved.
Yeah.
Because there's no legitimate sources anymore.
Right.
Like it's really, really hard. And especially on Twitter, where, even on Twitter, you have this feeling that when you read something, it's possible that it's fact. And you'll probably take it more that it's real than it's not. Right. So reading something that just any random person tweeted off of Twitter kind of gives it some awkward legitimacy that makes it feel more real to you when it could be the most bullshit thing. So you have to like look at it super like you can't take any of this shit with any legitimacy until you have it fact checked. And fact checking, what is fact checking anymore? The fact checkers who fact checked the whole Russia or the whole Ukraine Biden laptop thing were all bullshit. There weren't real fact checkers. Right. It's real. It was a real thing. And they were saying fact checkers say that this is an illegitimate argument or whatever. And then it just comes out that the whole Biden, Hunter Biden laptop story was real. So like there's an unbelievable.
I don't even know what that story is.
I don't even know. I haven't really wanted to look into it because it's been so, on the forefront of things, and it's just seems like a big mess right now. But obviously there's some corruption in Ukraine that's clear, and the Biden family is involved. And Hunter Biden, who was a drug addict, that's not saying anything against him being able to do things, but he was a drug addict.
Right.
Made millions of dollars off of the Ukraine. And part of it, there were statements where he said, and this part goes to the big man, right? Referring to Biden, the president of the United States. So, I mean, if you didn't
imagine if that was DTJ,
right?
Donald Trump Jr.
I mean, this would be and it was weird when it all broke out. There were so many left-leaning people that were very dismissive of it, saying, "Who cares anymore? People are still on this laptop thing." And it's like, are you kidding me? There were 35 freaking like independent sources that were supposed to be legitimate sources saying that this wasn't a real thing. This should be This should be one of the most important topics that there is, because it proves that there's an unbelievable amount of corruption within our politics and our media.
Right.
And they're way more intertwined than they should ever be. I mean, to think that a president, to think that an 80-year-old man is going to go in to be president to make $400,000 is, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Is he 80?
He's 78, 76.
Jeez.
I don't know. My grandpa's 86 and he looks better.
Doesn't he already have, doesn't he still get paid for vice presidency? Don't they is that just president who gets paid for the rest of their life?
I'm not sure, honestly, in the whole pay. I mean, they could get paid more than $400,000, but they're not making a lot of money. And that's why lobbying works so well, right?
Yeah.
Like lobbying shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
Because it pretty much turns big companies into oligarchs, right? Because these companies with significant amounts of cash are able to persuade governments one way or the other. That shouldn't be a thing. Just like people who make laws around companies shouldn't be able to vote in the stock market. They shouldn't be able to vote with their dollar because that makes it illegitimate, right? They can definitely manipulate that to make themselves richer.
Right.
And I don't necessarily think that it's the fault of the way that the government was set up, because so much has changed so quickly in the past 100 years that it would be impossible to foresee how all of this could get played out. However, we have a terrible system. We have a great system for creating laws. We have a terrible system for getting rid of laws, is one problem. So we have all of these laws and restrictions that should not be things.
Right.
And then
none of the founding fathers were going to live long enough to have to get rid of laws.
Right. I mean, because the lifespan was fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
So, there's so many problems with our government, and
also laws get enacted for 4 years and then they immediately get tossed away once there's a new party in the office.
Right. Well, and it's not even, I think laws are less problems there, but it's more, where are we going as a country? Right? What are our goals? What are our aspirations as a country? That every 4 years that changes. And that sets us up for, volatility and failure.
Yeah.
That's why, if you know who Ray Dalio is, the changing of the world order, and he talks about how the US is on the decline and China is on the rise. And that is because China has a dictator and he can foresee 50 to 70 year plans to change the course of his country.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we should move to something like that, but there needs to be some understanding. There needs to be some more humility from the people who are involved in running the country to try and move our country in the same direction, which is up, right? If we want to continue being the biggest power, we have to have some consistency. Because if you're part of a company, and we can make it shorter because companies' lives are shorter than countries' lives. Every 2 years, you get a new CEO, and the new CEO completely changes course. There are segments of that business that have no idea what they're doing every 2 years. Right? Because this business is so big that it's nearly impossible to set a course for every single individual over 4 years.
Right.
So at some point we are paying these groups of people to do nearly nothing because they have no course of action. They have no idea which way we're going.
Right.
And it continues to change. I have no idea how to change a system. I think one of the best ways that we could do it is increase pay to officials like senators, to Congress people, to presidents, to baristas. Fuck, good callback. But if we increase pay, the problem is the intelligent people, the people that aren't just fucking trying to bullshit everybody, are starting businesses because there's way more money in starting a fantastic business than there is in becoming a politician. And we have to somehow poach those people from starting a business to running states, to running the country, because that's in reality, it's the most important business, because if the country is doing well.
Why don't you run for office?
For one, I'm not 35. And for two, I don't think that I would be a very good head of state. I don't think that I would be a good president.
I'll just start with the school board.
The school board? No. I have little to no interest in doing that, because I have interest in starting businesses and reaping the rewards of that. So, yeah, I don't know how to change the system, but I think that the first course of action should be to increase pay and to connect that pay to the financial outcomes of the state or country.
If your state thrives and you thrive.
Yes. So, and I don't know how you would do that, because there leads to a lot of corruption in those aspects as well, I'm sure. But, there's got to be more incentive to create a fantastic business out of the states and out of the countries. I don't know. I think that I'm honestly terrified, because I think China is going to end up taking over as the leading power. Not necessarily, they don't even have to take over militarily anymore, because everything's monetary. We see it right now. We're not in a physical war with Russia, but we essentially dropped an economic nuclear bomb on Russia by sanctioning them to the point where they can't even operate in the world. Nothing. You don't have to do anything militarily anymore. If China becomes the reserve currency, if their digital yuan becomes the reserve currency, then we're done. Like, the United States is no longer the major power. And there are trends towards that. The only thing that I see beating that out is Bitcoin being the reserve currency. But I'm not sure.
You don't think the US dollar will do it? You don't think we'll pull our head out of our ass?
Well, so the biggest problem with that is, to do that, we have to have a recession. Because we can't continue pumping liquidity into the market without completely destroying our currency.
But we won't have a recession.
Yeah, and that leads back to the politicians.
Not looking that way.
Because the politicians aren't willing to be the one that does that.
The way the stock market's looking, we're definitely not having a recession.
I don't think that that's obvious yet. I think that we're going to go through extreme volatility prior to a recession. And we've never had a recession. We've never not had a recession when oil's been over $120 a barrel. And it currently is.
Yeah. Oil is stupid. How expensive is it down there?
It's cheap here. I mean, not cheap, but relatively. We're at how much? $3.80. What do you guys at?
$4.30?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we'll get above $6 by the end of the summer.
Well, so it was already predicted that California was going to get over 7 prior to the war.
Well, they're already above 7.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They were supposed to get to 7 prior to the war during the summer. Prior to the knowledge of the war happening, it was predicted that they would get to $7 a gallon by summer.
And then they also have a gas tax. Taxing business for gas.
So I think most states, Montana probably doesn't, but lots of states do have a gas tax.
We're free for all up here.
Yeah. Well, you're very...
just going to start riding my bike.
You guys are very American, except for your coffee companies.
The employees are coffee.
Yes, you're right. The baristas.
No, very American, except our cities.
Yeah, well,
our cities are...
especially in places like that, the cities... I mean, you see it in Texas as well. Texas is a red state, but they have lots of hints of blue.
Yeah, Austin.
Dallas is leaning more blue. You know, that
San Antonio.
when you get more people together, people begin to become more democratic. I'm not really sure why that is, but you know,
that'd be an interesting sociological case study.
I'm sure people have done it, but the oil per barrel actually dropped below $100 per barrel to $99.76 per barrel.
We're doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think I don't see a possibility of us not going through a recession, but I have no idea. I mean, you should fact check this because we're just morons.
All right, ready for this next one?
Yeah.
Have you heard the name Lia Thomas?
Yeah, but I have no idea in what context.
She's the transgender swimmer that just won the national championship.
Oh, yeah. Nope, definitely no Lia Thomas.
Yeah. Discuss.
It shouldn't be a thing, quite frankly, and I really don't have a problem saying this, but I don't give a shit what you do or what you think you are, what you want to be. I do not care. I have zero care. But as soon as you start taking places of people who have worked their whole life to get to where they are because you just decided that you wanted to switch, and maybe it was a long decision, but it was a decision. That's bullshit, quite frankly. And I think one of the reasons I don't feel terrible saying this is because I think public sentiment is on my side in this regard.
Oh yeah. Except the loud people.
Yeah. The loud minority.
But I think overall, everyone's like, that's so messed up. If you don't know the story, there was a male swimmer for Yale or Penn.
UPenn.
I don't know. Penn.
Yeah.
An Ivy League school. And he was incredibly average. And he had a sex change. And so now he is swimming on the women's side and has just won the national championship in the 500-meter freestyle, I think.
Yeah.
Ahead of a U.S. Olympian.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean.
Very interesting.
First off,
and if you look at him, I mean, he's 6'4".
Yeah. So right away, if you look at the picture, of the winners, the top three, there's no question in my mind who's going to win that race.
Yeah.
Also, he swam at a collegiate level as a male.
Right.
For multiple years, and then decided to make a change, which I'm not saying that he's faking it or doing it for any other reason. But at that point, you don't get to choose. You can continue competing with the men, and you can be a woman, right?
Yeah.
That's just, I don't even.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that it's messed up. I don't necessarily have the words to figure it out, but I think
did you see that
I think that at that point you have to be so you have to be thinking about yourself so much to get to that point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is something that I've thought about a lot because I listen to Glenn Greenwald, and he talks about how at the end of civilizations, people get overly obsessive with sex and gender and all of these things. And it's because life gets too good. Life gets so good that you sit around thinking about who you are and what you are way too much. And we were meant to be, fighting for food.
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making things. And if you're the type of person who, just sits around and thinks about who you are too much, I think it's going to lead you to one of these paths. And I think it's pretty clear in like his research as well. Glenn Greenwald did research on trans, especially trans like teenagers and children. The vast majority of them will be just gay rather than want to actually do a sex change. And I think it's because we just start focusing too much on what ifs rather than just, focusing on what you can do. But, I don't have that. I don't have to go through that. So it's really difficult for me to
hopefully
sympathize. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't understand at all.
I'll be a big ass lady.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
I don't care at all.
Yeah, I really legitimately don't care.
Being trans, I don't care. I don't care at all. It's just don't.
I mean, it's similar. It's similar to so for me, someone who is very religious and is pushing it on you, right? Is super aggressively pushing their religion on you. It's nearly the same thing.
Right.
Like, just deal with your own shit, and like, then we can have a conversation about other things, because that has no interest in me. It's a difficult, I don't know. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong, but I feel like women should have the opportunity to keep their records and to be awesome women.
He shattered the record too.
Well, of course, dude. I mean, how tall is he? He's got to be like 6'3" at least.
He's 6'1", apparently.
Or she, whatever. 6'1". I mean, good God, he's only 6'1".
Yeah, they're tiny.
It's just, yeah, I'm 3.5 inches taller than that guy, and he was towering over those women.
Yeah.
So I just feel really bad for those girls. And you saw how much they didn't even legitimize it. Those women did not legitimize him winning. Because I mean, they took a picture with the fourth place runner up. Yeah. And that picture was freaking iconic.
Yeah.
Him, the trans, is it a trans woman? Trans man? I don't know. Standing at the first place one, and then the three girls standing on the third place one together. I don't know. I guess nothing brings women together like a man trying to hold them down, huh? That's I don't know.
Man.
Unfortunately, I think that if this podcast were bigger, we would be getting attacked.
Oh, canceled. We'd be canceled.
So,
but you fact check it.
Yeah, fact check it. I mean, we could be totally wrong on this. We don't know. Yeah. That's a hard one for me to even contemplate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it is for anybody, but to think that it's not a problem is idealistic, maybe, or
right.
I don't know how you could just be like, yeah, this guy can compete with the girls, even though we know he's going to shatter all their records.
But they're a girl now.
Right. Which, I'm going to get in trouble for dead naming or dead gendering or whatever. I don't understand that.
It all comes down to hormones, testosterone levels. That's what determines girl and non-girl.
Unfortunately, I think that it should be determined by how did you go through puberty?
Honestly, yeah. I bet
what hormones did you have through puberty?
Yeah.
At that point, maybe we can talk about it a little bit more. But
if they have a sex change at like 10, which is ridiculous if that happens, regardless.
Should be illegal.
Yeah. Should be illegal if they're under 18. 100%.
Yeah.
25. Fully developed brain.
Right. I mean, that kid isn't even allowed to rent a car without getting extra insurance.
Yeah.
Because they don't trust her.
He's not on his own insurance.
No.
Period. They're still on their parents' insurance.
I don't, man. I think that we should cut that out. I think that
actually,
no, not cut it out. I'm talking about the country should cut that out. I think we should.
Yeah, I thought you cut out our podcast. I was like, really?
No, absolutely not. I think that we should cut out being overwhelmingly supportive.
All down participation awards.
Yeah.
It really does. All comes down to it. If you're not succeeding as a man, just change the woman. You can get a trophy.
Right. God, man, it's like that argument's so difficult too. Like, I don't even want to try and make that argument because, like I said at the beginning, I don't care if you feel like you're a woman. If you want to make that change, that's great. But don't do it in the context of taking stuff away from other women.
Right.
Right. And the fact that we have gotten to the point where you can't even support biological women because they're hurting non-biological women. What the fuck are we doing? Like, legitimately, that is so absurd. Women are the reason that our fucking world exists. And I'm not talking about transgender women. I'm talking about real fucking women who can have babies.
Right.
Transgender women cannot fucking have babies. I just like, what is the fucking argument here, man?
Right.
I don't know. I'm mad. It's just, I'm mad, dude. I'm pissed.
You've been pissed whole podcast ever since I brought up the as in the coffee roast.
Yeah, you got me started. You got me started right away. Well, you know what's funny is that this is a very circular podcast because the mentality of the people who are supporting that swimmer are the same mentality of the people who think that they deserve more than $13 an hour to make fucking coffee.
I agree.
I mean, do something legitimate with your life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just get a sex change and call it a day.
I guess that's where we're at.
Unionize. Get a sex change, unionize a coffee roastery, and
dude, Peter, you get a sex change. You'll go. We'll both get a sex change. You'll play women's national team goalkeeper. I'll play women's national team forward. I won't even play my actual position. I'll play forward, and I will.
It wouldn't even.
I'll shit on them.
It'd be ridiculous. It wouldn't even. It's just not even a.
Every free kick, you come up, you cross it to me, I score it.
It's.
And we're not even going to compete for the U.S. because the U.S. is too dominant. We're going to go to Nigeria. We're going to play with the Nigerian women. Yeah. And we're going to beat the U.S. women.
But honestly, I was having this conversation with my friend the other day. Like, he was saying that No, I'm not gonna say this. Never mind.
Okay, that's fair. I think we've definitely gotten to a point where we've said about as far as we can say. Yeah. Without, and I don't know that we would totally agree with what we said maybe a few weeks later if we went any further. I'm not, we're not trying to hurt anybody. Like our goals are not to hurt anybody, but we
conversation.
We want to have conversations that are real and legitimate, and should be fact checked, quite frankly. So I honestly think that that's episode 8. I think that that's it. It was feisty. It was a feisty episode. And
Devon was feisty. Peter was silent. Devon was feisty.
No, that's not true. You were not silent. I may have been upset, but I think that the whole culture around give me more
hashtag
is just
they just come up with new hashtags every single year.
I mean, it's just the fucking easy shit. That's the easy way out, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel it too. I want to be like, shit, I want more money. But I don't get to fucking go do that. And I'm not going to be the guy that goes and does that. I'm going to go fucking make my own money.
Right.
And I'm in a great position quite frankly. I'm privileged with my position and I understand that. But I want to make money so I can help other people make money. Because if I'm not the one making money, then maybe some other asshole is making money and he's a legitimate asshole and he doesn't give a shit about people. I know that I care about people.
Well, yeah.
I do, Peter. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to, but I could just see a future where I did something fucked up and someone cuts that moment of you going, yeah. And I'm like, fuck.
Great. Are you going to get this Instagram up and running or what?
I told you at 10. We've got 2 more to go. So we're filming another one on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do 9 on Wednesday and then we'll be at 10 next week and we'll start posting to Instagram and the likes.
Aye, Captain. All right. Wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know if you agreed with any of our takes. Yeah. I mean, if you
literally leave a comment,
if you
actually leave a comment.
If you completely disagreed with one of our takes, please let us know because we want to have legitimate conversations. And if you don't agree with it, then we'll bring it up and we'll rehash it. We'll think maybe someone can give us some good insight. Maybe we'll ask you onto the pod. Probably not because we don't know who you are, but it's possible, right? Anything's possible. And I know that you'd want to be on a podcast where we get 0 views, a video, but that's great. So thank you for listening. We will see you in episode 9. Goodbye.